God, it is a welcome return inside the PFL Season 9, Week 5. I am your former champion, El Zumbador, Joe.
Inside the PFL.
Hey, mute the stream, Mitch. That's Mitch, by the way. Mitch is here.
Sorry, I'm retarded. If you haven't noticed by now. Thanks for having me on, Joe. It's the one and only Mitch Connor here. Back at it again. Back from last week's shitty broadcast. Sorry that me and Mario don't have the production value that Joe has to put into it.
Hell yeah.
I mashed together a few things, and it just works, as some famous person once said.
It did just work. I agree. So thank you, Mitch, for joining us for this short week of Inside the PFL here. 5 battles to get to. Murphy angry that his bye week was not this week, the week that Borderlands, I believe Borderlands came out yesterday, Borderlands 3.
Borderlands Trace, yeah, that is accurate. I heard much about it. Nothing good, nothing bad. I played Borderlands 2 because I bought the Handsome Collection for like $3 on Steam when it's on sale this summer, and I played it for like 3 hours, so I don't get the appeal. It's not for me, sorry.
Sounds like that's something you and I got to play together then, because I believe it's something that I forced Manny to buy, or told him to buy at least, because I bought the Handsome Collection. I just haven't.
Oh, you have it?
Yet. Yeah.
Oh, dude, my buddy wants to play it. Yeah, we'll get together and play it one night for sure.
All right, but this is the Pokemon Fun League. This is not the fucking Borderlands Fun League.
Back to Pokemans. So about them Pokemon battles this week.
Here. Oh no, my fades weren't on.
How about them battles?
All right, well, let's start things off here. With the first match that we had going on here. It was Tristan over Hunter +1, I believe. So one thing that I noticed for these battles, Mitch, all of them are either +1 or +2.
They were very close this week, all of them. Every single battle was close this week.
This was a very exciting week of battles here. The first thing that I want to mention as we see the replay going on here. Now, with Smeargle, you feel like normally the sets that you put on it are, your Spore, your Sticky Web. Parting Shot was one that we saw on here.
Yeah, Smeargle's very annoying with Sticky Webs and sleeps.
And we see Nuzzle as well, which was an interesting choice in my mind. I mean, you have Spore there, obviously, with a sleep clause. You can't do, more than one thing sleeping, so at least that gives Smeargle a little bit more versatility, and it helps to slow down a scary-ass Barbaracle. And thank you for joining us, even for a little bit of time, M1. Yeah, that's one way to shut down Shell Smash Barbaracle. You make it paralyzed, you put Sticky Webs out, you
parting shot out,
and you parting shot it. So Superior still took a pretty decent hit from the liquidation here. Glare on Superior as well. I feel like Hunter did a good job of spreading status around in this match, but
it wasn't enough.
It was not enough. I mean, we see here obviously against Tornadus, that's not a great place to be, and even at your +2,
even with the +2,
yeah, you're not going to do much against. There was a lot of in this one, I believe, or at least a lot of this week. You turn to give your opponent momentum as you're killing something. One thing to note in this, we see
Hunter has been doing that a lot. The U-turn momentum.
One thing to
superpower,
superpower on Passimian there. Passimian has an ability called Receiver, where it will copy the ability of a Pokemon that was just in it before, I'm pretty sure, if it goes down. I don't know exactly how that works. Now, he had said in the chat that he had assumed that it would have copied Contrary, so that's why you put Superpower on Passimian, and it did not quite work out for him that way.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that exactly works, but if you would have had the close combat there, you might have got a little more damage in.
Yeah, I think
he is switching into Tornadus, so...
And I ran the calcs few times on it where, especially in this scenario here against Registeel, where you use the superpower and you get -1 attack, so obviously a close combat would have been enough to kill Registeel there. You don't need to send in Talonflame. Things just start kind of tumbling down because Talonflame loses its full health, can't use Gale Wings anymore. I don't know, it's a lot of suspect things happening where sometimes, Mitch, I don't know about you, if I run into a scenario where I'm like, does this actually work? I test it in a mock battle first before actually bringing it to a game.
I generally just wing all of my matches, so no.
Well, I'm just saying, maybe it stands to reason that it wouldn't have been a bad idea. Either way, also here I believe there was a mistake made where you go for acrobatics. One of the rules of thumb, Mitch, sometimes your non-stab super effective move and your stab normal move, sometimes the stab normal move will do more damage. And in this case, if he used superpower rather than acrobatics, could have done a little bit more damage to Blaziken. And potentially, I don't know exactly how the math worked out on it. Oh, and you lose Sand, too. I was going to say Sand could have helped to clean up the rest of Blaziken's health, because here it is sitting at 31%, able to clean up after an agility and take out the rest of the team.
All these matches this week are very impressive. They're all very close wins. And thinking back to it, I know mine was crazy, and I'm just rewatching this one now. Makes me rethink about how insane it is to have his Blaziken, his last Mon, go up against 3 others.
Well, I was going to say, is Blaziken in the match against you earlier this season beat the motherfuck out of you, so are we...
Yeah, I remember Blaziken steamrolling my team.
Are we potentially undervaluing Blaziken at 100 points?
I didn't even think of him bringing Blaziken. I'm like, I have the Rain team, why would he bring a Fire type? So I don't bring the Rain team. And I go, my team's really weak to... Oh, shit, he brought the Fire type. Fuck. Yeah, so... Blaziken, maybe a little underrated.
Maybe a little underrated, especially...
Maybe not. What's Mega Blaziken at? 700 Club?
Yeah, Mega Blaziken is Uber. So, and normal Speed Boost Blaziken is Uber as well, so...
Scary. It's very fast.
Pretty scary.
It's like a truck.
Well, let's move on to... our next match here, Mike versus Rob, where despite us saying that all of the matches were close, I feel like this is just another version of the same Rob story that we've been telling time and time again, of Rob just playing the game that he wants to play and not necessarily adapting to the situation.
Poor Rob. The greatest first turn ever, though. Double sticky webs.
Oh, double sticky webs. Good, very good turn. But we see here, like, you'd think possibly HP Fire on Rabambi or something to help deal with Leavanny. It's just, you get 2 QDs and just Rabambi dies for, like, a Mon that you spent... Leavanny kind of sucks. Leavanny used to be on Rob's team, too, so how embarrassing is it that you lose the Mon... that you, lose to the Mon that you traded to your opponent here. And then a bullet punch.
It's unfortunate.
Letting Nihilego just go. Why? Maybe you assume you're faster. Lucario has a lot of...
Faster than a bullet punch?
Exactly. Lucario has a lot of moves on it, priority moves that cause problems like that, so...
Mike likes his priority moves. I learned that, I think it was last season or the season before. Mike loves his priority moves.
Priority is very important, really, so...
I think it was last season. He kicked my ass with Infernape, the priority Infernape move. What was it, Mach Punch, I believe? Wrecked my team at one point.
Oh, and here we have...
2 seasons ago.
Another thing that I feel like Rob kind of just gave up, because he came in, it was a crit to start, a crit Psyshock, so it did, 60...
He expected the switch, though, into...
Yeah, he kept thinking Incineroar was going to come in, kept using HP Fighting, and, he didn't lose too much out of it. Rocks came out, and Beheeyem got toxicked, but does he just let Beheeyem stay in here? I forget. Yeah, fake out, and I don't think he switches into Scizor or Chinchino. I think he just lets Beheeyem die. Yep, so just kind of threw that one away. Beheeyem is not really a super important Pokemon, I guess, so...
I thought he was going to bring... Did he bring him against me? I
feel like I think that the Rock Blast on Chinchino, not a bad idea. Probably banned it or something because it was locked into...
That skill link.
Oh yeah, that skill link. It was locked into whatever it was using there, so you had to leave. But we see later the Tail Slap could have probably done... Well, Mega Manectric was really fast, so that was also the problem. Rob did not bring any kind of removal here.
A burn.
And this part, just leaving Mega Scizor in. Honest, I mean, you're not going to bring... They're both physical, so whatever is in is going to get scald. And Mike bringing the haze on Toxapex. Almost nobody ever brings haze, which, I mean, it's a good idea because it prevents stuff like this from happening because Rob is stuck. He can't do anything with Scizor. Has to force the hand, get the Intimidate. You get the Swords Dance, but really, what are you going to do? You got to do resisted bullet punch damage and then the Mike special of Flare Blitzing into something and...
Hit it till it dies, like a truck.
Hit it till it dies, dumps like a truck, and we see here just Tail Slap taken care of. Again, like, banded Tail Slap, banded Skill Link anybody with Chinchino or Ambipom can really, like, when you're not paying attention, just, like, come out of nowhere. Because, again, Toxapex, very defensive. It's two-shot by Tail Slap from Chinchino, like, and what is it going to do back to Chinchino other than Scald or Baneful Bunker or whatever? And Manectric just comes in and cleans up, and that's all that was needed. Really, you gotta wonder. Now, Mike at 4-1 is a little scared in his position here. Do you feel like Mike is going to win his division at this point, Mitch?
No, he's gonna fail under pressure, as per usual Mike fashion. He's like, yeah, I'm doing so great, and then it's gonna not go great. I'm gonna be there when that falls apart.
We'll see how that one turns out. I got, like, again, leading the division now. I put out the, like, he's still fourth seed or something like that among all the rankings, but
I was looking at that today.
He's only ahead of Jack because he's played one more game than Jack currently, so if Jack wins, Mike is the leader of the division, but currently he's the weakest leader, so I think people are going to be coming for his shit, and he's got to be careful.
He's been doing great this season, as has Drag, Jim, and Tristan.
Yeah. So, next we've got a match that I filled in for on this one that it's not exactly a return to form. Gage beating Mario here. Mario, of course, me piloting Mario's team. Now, this is one of those things where I'm not going to make any excuses, Mitch. I made the team very quickly. I did not ask for anybody else's opinion on the team, which I feel like is almost a requirement, just so you could see beyond the mistakes. Because there were a few things in here I believe that I just chose moves kind of flippantly. But
at the same time, talking to Mario, even he talked about Tristan's team and how he was scared of the dogs. If he brings all three of them, he goes, I don't stand a chance.
Gage's team, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said Tristan.
Oh, did I?
That's all right.
Whoops.
Either way.
Gage.
And again, like, Suicune didn't show up, but he still brought, 4 dog-based Pokemon. I feel like there were a few things that we saw here. I brought Inner Focus on Umbreon, and I'm not sure why I did, considering Synchronize would have toxic Hippowdon, and Hippowdon was the thing that I could not get past in this match. I had stuff for, I thought I prepared decently well for something like Sandrush Stoutland. I brought my own weather as well, which is where another problem was made. Mario was so up on this fucking Ninetales and Victory Bell Weather Core, has not used it yet. I was the first person to use it, and I fucked it up because... So, there's a little thing, Mitch. Of course, in Sun, as you may know, Solar Beam takes 1 turn to use...
Instead of having to charge, right?
Exactly. However, the Pokemon that it would be best utilized against, Hippowdon, brings his own fucking weather in when he comes in, so suddenly that 1-turn Solar Beam does not work anymore. And...
I see the dilemma here.
Which causes a bit of a problem when I want to kill Hippowdon and I don't have anything other than an Ice Punch on Rhyperior, which we saw how well that went. And
yeah, it did like 12 damage, right? 12, 13, 15, something.
I'm not going to say it would have been completely different, but if I put just like Giga Drain on Victory Bell, we might be spinning a different tale, as it were, in regard to how this match went, because I had nothing for Hippowdon. If I was going to put Toxic Spikes out with Ariados, didn't work out like that. I think that's why I took off Synchronize for some reason. Didn't get him to Toxic, didn't It was bad. It was a fuck up on my part. Preventable measures is what I will call it.
It occurs.
It occurs. That's just how it goes. That's just, the lay of the land sometimes. I even got to use sweet-ass Weather Ball here, which I think Gage got a taste of last season against Manny with Venusaur and Weather Ball, but he immediately was just like, oh, fuck, not again. But there was nothing I could do. Raikou ended up being way more bulky than I thought it would be. Didn't really run any calcs on that one. And had to burn the Z move because there was no way that I was going to... I brought Thunder Wave on Thundo for some reason. I didn't... I made him a physical Thundo. I brought Z Bulk up just because I wanted to run it. Again, I was doing the Rob thing. I was playing my own game rather than really trying to beat the opponent. And I think that's why I ended up
That's
losing.
What cost you.
Yes. Because the only special attackers I had really weren't good for Hippowdon, and my physical attackers couldn't get past him. So... it is what it is.
Slack off, yeah. I can see that.
And I die in a very embarrassing way to Toxic because there's nothing else I could do.
Well, at least you tried. Tried bulking up.
Yep. Well, you live and you learn. And traditionally, I've had really bad luck facing Gage. He's been in my division twice over the seasons that we've had here. I don't think I've beaten him twice in one season. Both times that we fought, we split the uprights 1-1, and now Gage is 1 up on me. So I got to get my revenge somewhere down the line against Gage to even it back up. Not even get ahead. Gage is 100% better than me right now.
Revenge, first step on the path to the dark side. I like it. Get him.
Next up, we've got here Dan taking on Dylan. This one was a bit of an interesting one. We'll kind of let it play out at the beginning here, because I love any match that starts with trick choice scarf, quite frankly. Because you give it to Donphan there. Unfortunately, Donphan kind of does what it needed to do of getting rocks out, so it's not a big difference. It's just a faster Donphan now. But also, we see here Sigilyph, who can be a big problem.
I love Sigilyph.
Getting destroyed by a Thunderbolt because Gudra, the often the black sheep of the 120-point dragons, I think, it's got gigantic special defense, Mitch. It took Misty Terrain Moonblast to the face.
Do tell me more.
35% damage, so that means it's at best a 3-tap, which...
Oh, God. Moonblast?
Moonblast. It was
Oof.
rough going for everybody.
That's scary.
Now, in this match here, I guess it didn't really make that much of a difference because we see that Donphan came back in the scarf and it still wasn't faster than Salazzle. So technically, I guess that trick worked. Literally, the trick move did. I love the Dragon Tail. Dragon Tail's a very underrated move because, nasty plot Salazzle. What is anybody going to do to that other than just get it out of
He is fast, and now he has paper, but he is now faster than you and twice as strong.
And that's why you just need to get it out of there. Just please leave. And like you're
I'll
saying,
deal with you later.
And like you're saying, paper, it takes a resisted superpower and dies.
Yeah, and 70%, 69%.
Yeah, it does a lot of damage. Way too much.
Now that's a lot of damage.
And we find it here as well. Swords Dance on Absol. Not a good time for anybody. Mega Absol.
The Focus Whiff, of course.
I do like the Gooey. Gooey is a good thing there because it misses the play rough. That's where things change. That is where a reversal of fortune. Poor Dylan, he had a lot of momentum going into this match, but life has a way of evening itself out, so then you have the missed Focus Blast and the missed play rough. And in comes Mile, where I'm not going to do much hit and knockoff on it. Mega Mile has been kind of a mixed bag for a lot of the battlers.
That was Audrey 2 again.
And... oh, you gotta call him Audrey 2. Come on.
Well, he had Victory Bells in his lottery too.
Oh yeah, I did call Victory Bell Audrey too, didn't
Yeah.
I? Fuck.
Yeah, that's why. It's like, oh hey, it's him again. But wait,
Perfect.
plus
See,
2 sucker punch.
we're on the same. Yeah, plus 2 sucker punch will myrtleize anything, so you need to really play around Maw. And when you only have a Rocky helmet, only attacking move more than likely Rotom. Would have been nice to keep that. Well, no, it wouldn't, because Sucker Punch. So never mind. No, Mega Mawile. If it's one of your last Mons, it's probably going to end up cleaning up. You really need to.
Can't. As you saw happen there.
If Rotom had Willow, it might have been a different story. Who knows? But if you're going to run Rotom with Scarf, why run Scarf Willow unless you know you're going to trick something?
That'd be the goal at that point. Trick it.
Finally,
Will things.
Mitch, I will be handing the reins over to you for your match against Thomas, because this one was crazy as shit.
It's an emotional roller coaster.
Let me know.
I was convinced I had lost at a certain point. So I had nothing to deal with Magnezone. That's the name. I had nothing for it.
Yeah.
I was like, well, fuck. I have no earthquakes. I took it off. I put Rapid Spin on. What's his name? Kabutops.
Oh yeah. Well.
I got rid of Mimikyu really early in this too, which was not good.
Yeah, you could have. I mean, you hit Shadow Sneak here rather than Shadow Claw when you're faster, which isn't a giant. That's not a giant problem.
Was the thing I mistaked on right there. I saw the Ghost Mode. I was like, I'm clicking this. So I clicked it. I'm like, oh wait, that's not this. I'm faster. But the Armaldo plays.
How about
I was so shocked that O-Code. What's that thing's name?
Zoroark. It's kind of. Zoroark's a little papery. Is the thing. It's got like 70s in its defenses or something like that. It can go down pretty easily from a super effective hit, especially from a man as big as Armaldo with 125 attack.
He does have a very, very big attack, which helped me a lot. He is slow. That was his issue, but
that was the problem. And I think that still it came through. It did. More than half damage to Meganium. Meganium was not safe being in against Armaldo. You got rid of Swoobat later in the match with it. Like, it did a ton of fucking damage. It did way too much.
The only reason I switched into Pelipper was to get the rain off so I can get Kabutops up.
And unfortunately, lot of your...
Not enough on the Stone Edge.
This was a match that was defined by Zebstrika and Armaldo because, like, Mimikyu and Kabutops didn't really end up doing what they needed to do, and it just so happened... what was on Zebstrika? Specs?
No, I actually had Specs on him, and then I say, you know what? I need something to beat out the speed of Staraptor, so I switched to Choice Scarf.
Oh.
So now I would be faster, but
aren't you
I was stuck in HP Ice.
Aren't you naturally faster than Staraptor with Zebstrika?
No.
I thought so.
No, well, I don't think so.
Staraptor only has a base 100 speed, I'm pretty
sure.
No,
I think I did it because if he had a Scarf, I would have the Scarf too, so I then was a bit faster. I just wanted to make sure I could outspeed it, hit it with Thunder, and be done with it. Come in, he's like, oh, I'll kill this thing. He just wanted to be resisted, and then... This I had to calc, though, the Air Slash from Troglodyte, Swoobat. I was like, how much will this do if I can switch into him? And I switched, I'm like, oh, I can live from 2 of it, perfect. I can hit the Stone Edge. And I'm like, that's the play here. Boom, got into Armaldo, got the Stone Edge off, killed it. And I'm like, oh boy, am I going to kill this thing? No, I died.
Yeah, this is where I'd warned you about Mega Banette and how scary it can be.
I assumed the taunt was coming, so I take the attack move. So I'd hit the Giga Drain just a little bit of health back from it.
I mean,
I realized I would kill him.
Yeah, you did what you needed to do because
Destiny Bond.
There was no way that he wasn't going to debond. And here's where...
That's where my heart dropped. I was like, I have nothing to take care of this. I'm like, I have to hit Thunder, so I think they'll do enough damage to kill it in 3 hits. So I had Thunderbolt as well. Like, I'm going to go with the roll. It hits Thunder. When he woke up and hit the Flash Cannon, I was like, oh no. Like, okay, I can still... Oh, it didn't hit. Oh no. Then Flash Cannon. But I lived by 3. And I'm like, this is it. This is a roll. I told him, like, good game either way. I have a 70% chance of winning, 30% chance of losing. And I clicked the button, and it rolled in my favor. It could have easily rolled in Thomas's favor. It was completely down to that Thunder roll. It was that close to a match. It was just complete random number generator. Who gets the win? And it gave it to me.
That's the beauty of Pokemon sometimes. Yeah. I don't think I have to tell you that I missed Hurricane 7 times in a row in a random battle once.
Wow.
So Thunder,
Wow.
Thunder without any kind of modifier like Rain is absolutely the definition of a dice roll.
Yeah, a 1 out of 4 chance it misses, basically. Give or take a few percent.
I gotta. We don't do like what's called. We don't have a game of the week anymore. But that was definitely my game of the week on this one, just because very rarely you're going to see a finish better than, one mon standing with 3% HP.
Scary. My heart sank when it came down to just those two. I was like, I'm fucked. There's no way around it. I'm like, the only thing that does enough damage is stuff. There's nothing else that can even. It'll just dink it. Like, am I gonna try to play to win, or am I gonna play to, try and go out with some dignity? I'm like, no, fuck it. I'm just
you gotta play to win. That's how.
I have to.
We play to win the game.
Thunder. If Rain's up and Thunder's there, it's a great move, and I'd use that over Thunderbolt. So. But if the Rain's not there, Thunder's a dice roll, and I'm willing to take the dice roll.
Well, let's talk about just a few things before we get into, obviously, because this was the week of buys. 5 of the matches up on the screen did not happen this week. They will be, we'll just talk about those on, picking them a little later here. Let's talk about trades and pickups real quick, because James has dropped KB. I feel like KB has been a very mixed bag, much like a Mega Maw Isle, where you're spending 200 points and you expect a Mon to do the damage that it needs to do, but when your opponent can kind of prepare for it, it makes it a little more difficult. He downgraded just a little bit to Keldeo, who I think is a really good option. Keldeo got me to a championship and missed a Hydro Pump and lost me a championship.
Water fighting, right?
Water fighting, special attacker...
Like
135 special attack, 108 speed.
Sacred Sword, usually.
Sacred/Secret Sword, whichever the special one is.
Yeah, that's, you know what I mean.
Yeah. And I
don't know them all.
And he got rid of Palo Sand for Obama Snow, normal Obama Snow, because obviously he has Mega Heracross.
Didn't somebody have Obama Snow earlier?
Manny had Mega Obama Snow and never used it.
That's what it was.
Before he dropped it. Yeah, and that's where Manny is right about now. I feel like Mega Obama Snow, underrated. If anybody wants to, we'll think about passing around a collection plate if anybody wants to trade Pokemon to Manny.
I think he used up all his trades coach. I don't think that's legal.
Nobody's looking in on him. No, you can still do trades if you have no pickups left.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
So
I don't know if anyone wants to trade with Manny at this point. I mean,
that's
that team. Oof.
That's partial problem.
I mean, I want Chansey. I'll give you something for Chansey. I'm putting that right out there. You don't want Chansey? I'll take him.
That's what I'm saying. He has enough. He has enough clout with his stall that he's basically a bank right now. Like, hey, do you want a bulky Pokemon? I can give you one. Just trade me.
I would love a bulky Pokemon.
Well, hit him up. Send him.
Nope. No, I'm good. My team's all right. I mean, if he needs it, he can hit me up. I'm not too desperate right now. Rob actually still owes me one, too, for a bet we made earlier this season.
I feel like...
Rob, I remember.
I feel like Manny's too proud to beg, but I'm absolutely shameless, and from experience, Mitch, where if I want to get my team a certain way, you used one of your pickups for me so I could get Kling Klang in Season 7. I remember
I was so new. Yeah, I was new to it. You're just like, do this thing and that thing for me. I'm like, okay. Boom. He's like, here you go. You got this really good mon? I got this really good mon. I'm like, all right, cool. I don't remember who I got.
And you didn't even... I think it was... I gave you Scrafty or something like that? I can't remember.
Maybe. I didn't use them, I don't think, once I got them. I was still really new, though. I was still learning things on my team. I think it was my second season in, and the first season it was like half a season. So I was still like getting my feet wet.
No, you came in.
And I still am. I still make mistakes constantly.
Well, you're learning. You're doing better. Your record is better than Mario's currently, thanks to me mostly.
Thanks, Dad.
Thanks to me losing. So.
No, that's not Mario's own fault. No, I don't know what he's doing this season. Him, Histed, Manny, I don't know what they're doing. It's just like a curveball. All three of them are like monsters, and they're just playing like I do. I'm like, what's happening here? What's going on?
The old guard is changing. All the heavy hitters, when they actually have to...
Could that be it? Or could it be something else? Could it be a collusion of sorts? They're like, we're just going to play shitty for the first half, and then we're just going to kill everybody the other half.
I don't know. I feel like if it was Manny's plan to make his team have absolutely no offensive presence, I don't know what his next step is in his master plan.
He's going to start distributing the walls to people on his team.
That's what I hope.
To get a wall. You're going to see Mario get a wall.
I want to see
Drac gets a wall. Like, what's going on?
I want to see Mario, James, and Manny all just trade all their mons around, so they end up with like 3 monster teams as a result.
Oh, I don't think any of them are in my bracket. I'm good.
Well, let's talk about.
Have at it, gentlemen.
Let's talk about the matches coming up in week 6 here. The everybody who battled in week 5, they get a bye week, thankfully. Except for you, Mitch, who gets to do the 700 Club, and you might be able to break some news if you have your Uber Pokemon.
No, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Can I get Mega Rayquaza or Mega Gengar? One of those, that tier?
You can get... Mega Rayquaza technically is even too good for Ubers, so I think he's going to be too good for the 700 Club, but Mega Gengar...
Oh, come on!
Mega Gengar, totally. You could totally have Mega Gengar.
Could I?
Yeah.
Is he a 700 Club Mon? Or is he just...
The 700 Club Mon is just...
He's like a 600 Club Mon.
The 700 Club Mon is basically...
I don't want no 600 Club Mon.
Every Mon in Ubers. So... every Mon that is in Ubers, including Mega Gengar,
Alright, Joe, listen. I know I have an OU team, and I don't know... What?
You know how there are some Mons in Ubers, Mitch? Some Mons...
No, I don't. Explain to me. Elaborate.
Then take Mega Gengar.
Mega Gengar sold.
And you got... and then just give me your 10... Tier 5
No, that's not
Mons.
happening right now.
No, I know. Whenever on that. So,
all right.
commish picks for next week here. So, starting things off, we've got Jim, who is currently leading his division, taking on Dave here. I feel like Dave has been playing very well here. Jim has definitely gotten a few good wins out of what's
Jim's
going on.
On a roll.
He's on a roll. He's still 4-0. I think this is where he gets toppled. I am taking Dave on this one.
Do I get a pick?
You feel free.
Oh, yeah, definitely Jim. Jim 6-0. No, I'm just kidding. Jim plus 3. Because he's on a roll.
I like that. Sounds good. We've got James and Dale as the next one here. This one, I believe, was a surprise from Dale in week 2, I want to say, in one of the previous weeks. I'm pretty sure Dale won the first outing, but I don't think James is going to make a mistake like that again. I'm going to take James. James
plus 2. This will be a close one. Dale's get ready for it from what I've heard from him. But his stead's scary, man. His stead is scary.
And we've got
Owner. We get it to you. Plus 2.
Current division leader Jack taking on M1 here. M1's had a few struggles so far this season. Jack is playing very well. I am going to take Jack.
I think it's going to be an upset here. I think M1's come out ahead.
Ooh.
M1. With M1 plus 3.
Damn, that's going to be a good one here. Continuing with my tradition, Manny versus Lebo. This is where we all saw live together the cracks in Manny's team week 1, where he just couldn't get past Politoed. And I think that since week 1, Manny's team has not gotten any better. I'm going to take Lebo on this one.
I have to agree with you. I think Manny's team has been a little bit in question as of the past couple of weeks. And Lebo is getting his grounds, and he's doing really well, and he whooped my ass in the 700 Club last week. I think that's going to be the start of his role, and he's going to take down Manny.
And finally...
But I don't know about how many.
Finally, we've got division leader Drac taking on Murphy. This is always a tough battle. Murphy, here in the chat, your team is... absolutely monstrous. Drac is going to probably pull out most, if not all, of the stops to try to get around it, but I'm going to go upset alert on this one. I'm going to go Murphy taking the victory.
They're on a roll, man, all right? They're undefeated. They're on a roll. Don't stop the roll. Don't stop the train. Murphy, good luck. But Drac. I'm going to go with Drac. It's going to be a great match to watch either way.
It will be. I think it'll be very entertaining. as these matches often are. So, with that said, we can close the book on one half of the bye weeks here. The regular season is officially half over, Mitch. So I gotta ask you, as we go into week 6 here, as you know, some people can take it easy, as others are vying for, coming out of the bye week, hoping to get on top of their division, possibly. Do you think possibly this is the most important week of the season?
I think it is. I think it's setting up who can be in more of the top 8 seeds, who could be brought down. You can even out the division a little bit.
Exactly.
Depends on the upsets. If the upsets do happen, if Dave comes out ahead and he's 4-1, he's sitting up there with the rest.
And we're always on upset alert over here. So then, with that, for the Pokemon Fun League, for this edition of Inside the PFL, I am Joe.
I am Mitch Connor.
And everyone out there in Pokemon land, enjoy your
Pokemon's
battles.
land.
In Pokemon's land.
Pokemon's land. Guys, good luck next week. I'll be watching.
Have fun.